Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we were about midway through the year, so we could start to do a flip through of all of my K-pop journals. And I have a flip through that I posted at the very start of 2022. And it is of the first half of this journal, which I started in December of 2021, and I made quite a bit of progress on. As you can see by the pile we have here today, I have become addicted to K-pop journaling. So I thought we could just go through my current K-pop journals, flip through them, because I am officially retiring this one. It is not actually full, but it has become so thick that I really can't add anything else to it. But I have my TXT Deco Kit journal, I have my kind of collage journal, and I have a new journal that I have just started, and I have my XO journal. Maybe it's best we start with this journal. As you can see, it isn't finished, and in fact, I feel really bad about retiring it with this amount of space still left in it. I do think it's for the best. I did tab it, so this is where the new year starts. So my last page of 2021 was a January, but this is starting 2022, so I'm not happy with a lot of these spreads. I was just really getting started with K-pop journaling, but this is where I think I was starting to hit my stride, because first of all, I love that song, you know, Dinner's Ready, yeah, love it. And this is the moment, you can tell, this is the moment when I decided I was going to like enter my Suho era. Little did I know he was going to become a bias for me. That was January 8th. 6 months later, here we are. So a lot of these are pages that I did when we had quite a bit of snow at the beginning of the year. I just like went crazy. This is my spread for Dio's birthday, which is one of my favorite spreads of all time. And I really like this journal, even though I do feel as though it got full very fast and it became very difficult to put anything on the pages. I like it because it really freed me up and allowed me to do some creative things. This is weirdly one of my favorite pages, and I think you'll see, like, my hand lettering is not great, but I do think it has continued to get better. So this is basically in its own way also an XO journal, because as you can see, this is really when I was falling in love with Suho. But I tried eventually to make my season's greetings basically my only XO journal. It doesn't always work. This is one of my favorite spreads of Digital. Then I just started trying to like experiment with scrapbook paper, which I think was the mistake. The scrapbook paper is so thick that makes the journal kind of pop up. But this is another of my favorite spreads. I love these two spreads together. Need I say more? Lotto Baekhyun, the Superior Baekhyun. This is one of my favorite spreads of all time, and I thought it was too pretty to write on. Like, I left this space to write, and I just couldn't do it because I thought it was so pretty. Suho in pink, it's unparalleled. So as you can see, this is still basically an XO journal. And in the beginning of the year, I think we're in February, I was starting to explore Stray Kids. So this is like from their preview for Ordinary. And I was also just getting into ATEEZ, and I fell in love with Songhwa. Hey Mama has been on my playlist like all year. So this then became kind of a catch-all and just became K-pop in general, as you can see. This is another of my favorite spreads. I just love the space theme. This is like my most popular post on Instagram, I think, is of this Baekhyun page. Baekhyun is my favorite idol to journal about. So I just think there's something about him. He really inspires me. I will link to my Instagram and to my TikTok down below, because I post more spreads there than I have on this YouTube channel, which is what I initially intended this YouTube channel to be, was just actually about journaling, K-pop journaling, but it's become my photo card collection channel basically. But this is really literally, I think this is my favorite spread. When Suho announced Gray Suit and I traced his name on vellum, I was really proud of that. This is apparently like an unfinished page, couple of pages, and I don't know what I intended here. That's why it's unfinished. I have no clue what was going through my mind. These were of like the preview photos from Suho's comeback. Like, excuse me, excuse me. So then, as you can see, we're kind of getting into the spring, and I was starting to stop using this journal. So April 24th, I did this in Hyphen Page, which is one of my favorites of all time. Love it because I could not stop listening to Fever. This is Red Velvet, Feel My Rhythm. I mean, excuse me, what a vibe it was. And I still like to chronicle in this journal, or I tried to anyway, just things that were going on, releases that were happening. So like that I really wanted to chronicle, but this was just, once again, me simping for Suho. This is when I discovered ONEUS, who are now one of my ults, and I made profiles for them, which was really helpful in learning their names. Not my favorite spread, but was obsessed with this moment in Gravity. When Chanyeol comes in Gravity, chef's kiss, like. So I also loved this. I love the composition notebook. I'm obsessed. I saw that all over TikTok. This is my spread of Connie, which is another of my favorites because it is so soft and pretty, and I just love the aesthetic. This is Xion and also Connie again. And then we have the boys. I was getting into the boys. I love She's the Boss. Love it. But this is like one of my favorite hand lettering things that I have ever done because it is the Love Fall Hurt Crazy from the iconic Dr. Bebe by Pentagon. I love them, and really, literally, I love him. I love Kino. And then we have Connie again. And this is actually, I think, sad to say, my last spread in this journal. But as you can see, it's kind of pulling away from the spine, so parts of the pages are wanting to come out. I just thought it was best if I retired this one. This is one of my tiny journals. This is basically my journal to journal freebies that I get from sellers on like Etsy and things. So I have used this as an opportunity to chronicle freebies. And so this is a little Polaroid of Yunho from ATEEZ. This is a little picture of Songhwa. I hate this page. I hate this page because I hate this lettering, but that was a little freebie of Mingi. This is also of ATEEZ, but this came from their Season's Greetings, and I just love it. This was also from their Season's Greetings, and it's so cute. This is one of my favorite decos ever of them in the Game Boy. And then last but not least, I was starting to deco TXT in here, and this is my next deco is a Bongyu, but this is really cute, I think. So this is just one that I update every now and again when I get a freebie in a package. Next, maybe let's do this little collage journal because it's full, and I have ordered another one of these binders because I thoroughly enjoyed doing this. I think you're gonna get a glare on this just because of the shine, but there's Lido. This is one of my favorites, is of Connie. And then we get into TXT, which I have become a MOA over the past couple of months, and I'm so happy. I really love their music, and I just love them. I think they are so uplifting, really, just their energy and their personalities. And this one I tried to deco, and I don't know if it was successful or not, but I kind of like it. Xion. This is ONEUS, and I'm so mad at myself because this stuck down before I could stop it. And so their logo is upside down on this page, and it bothers me so much. It really does. Then we have Felix. Lino. This is one of my favorites, but I know it's just because it's Suho, but I love the purple and the yellow. It works. It shouldn't work, but it does. Then we have Yeonjun. One of my favorites. This is one of my favorites of Taehyun because I love the pink, and this was just really fun to do, to use the stickers up. Then we have Dio from Coco Bop era. Can you believe the day that I'm filming this? It's been 5 years since Coco Bop came out. I really cannot believe it. And then we have Subin. So this is my little collage journal. This is really relaxing. Like, this is journaling that really does make you feel very zen while you're doing it. And I don't do it all the time because I do tend to use albums for this. So I just kind of wait until I feel like the album is falling apart, and then that's what I do. So I really, really enjoyed doing these, and it's so much fun to just make sure that all of the white space is covered. Next, let's do EXO. So this is just the first 6 months in my EXO Seasons Greetings Diary, and you can see it's getting very, very full. And this is actually my favorite journal because it is hardcover, and I just think that it really takes collage very well. I originally had their Polaroids in here of their hands. You can see where I had them stuck. They just wouldn't stay. So I moved those into my photo card binder just for the time being. But I'll tell you, here in the beginning I made some mistakes, as you can see. I hate this spread so much. I really, really hate this because I didn't really understand at first what I was doing with this journal. And now I know it's not really like about me. This is my journal for them. So I like to chronicle what they are doing. And you can see I started trying to do that. Like, Sehun was the Dior ambassador. Baekhyun posted a video. Chin had his second baby. And it was Dio and Kai's birthday one week. But I now no longer use the monthly spread pages. I glue those together so that the journal has more support. But I originally used this literally as a journal, and I just was writing all my feelings about everything. But I made a little window here, which I think is weird, and I kind of like it, for Dio and Kai's birthdays. And then you see this is a lot of text, and I just really couldn't keep up with it because I was really trying to basically write way too much. And so once I hit February, I changed that. This is one of my favorite pages, opposite one of my least favorite, because I hate my hand lettering right there. And the colors are weird, but I thought too originally that I wanted to like chronicle my monthly playlist here. I have stopped doing that basically. So now we're into February, 2 of my favorite spreads. This is when I first listened to Baekhyun's Japanese album that came out last year. What a vibe. I don't even know. Drown is like not only my favorite song by him, it's just one of the best K-pop songs I've ever heard. This is when Suho got out of the military, and then Baekhyun arranged flowers for us on Valentine's Day, which was very sweet and is one of my favorite of the KyoungTube videos. He is my comfort YouTuber, honestly. Kai was in a magazine, on the cover of a magazine in February, so I tried to chronicle that. And then this is just a lovely postcard of Sehun. March, we have, I was listening to Tempo all the time, and Chin and that album, like, once again, chef's kiss. Then I did Schumann's birthday spread early, and this is where I messed things up. From then on, I have never done a birthday spread. Like, I didn't do a birthday spread for Baekhyun or for Suho. And I'm not really sure why, and I think it's because I wound up doing this one so early, and the other birthday spreads I did in my other journal, but this is one of my favorite spreads because it's so weird. But then we get into me listening to Coco Bop nonstop. I know I said Lotto Baekhyun was the superior Baekhyun, but it's Mullet Baekhyun from Coco Bop. Like, this is the reason I am XOL. But then we have one of my mini spreads on Gray Suit because I just love that album. And I kind of did a waterfall effect of him moving throughout the room and the flowers spreading. Sehun was also in a magazine, I think, which is why I did this spread. And because it was Schumann's birthday, I decided to focus on Schumann for my last page of the month. And then right here is where I, of course, glued together the April monthly page. Then it was the 10th anniversary, which was so much fun. It was so much fun to be a part of that. And I printed off the little tickets that they sent us and put it behind the 10th anniversary cake they had. Hurdle, like, again, the mullet is everything to me in K-pop. Then we have Suho's Instagram posts. This eventually just became chronicling what they do. I haven't been able to keep up with everything because a lot has been going on. Basically, Suho got out of the military and has not given me rest. But this was another of Baekhyun teaching us things and like doing new skills, and he used pastels, and this is like an amazing art piece that he learned how to do in 30 minutes. I don't know how he's doing this. But I like that I kind of tied these two pages together with this vellum. Then Chen got out of the military, and I started watching their variety shows. So this is like from my favorite episode of their variety shows from EXO Arcade specifically. This is like one of my favorite things ever, the Whisper Game. Once again, Suho was on the cover of a magazine. I've really been able to keep up with their magazine schedules, weirdly enough, but this was just so beautiful. I don't know. Put him in blue all the time. And then this is when he was at Stanford, which was amazing, really amazing. If you haven't watched his speech at Stanford, you totally should. Then I started watching EXO Ladder, and I started, of course, with CBX, which is my favorite season of Ladder, believe it or not, and I didn't think it would be, but I really liked getting to spend time with just the three of them. So this is my favorite season of Ladder. And once again, I was still listening to the Tempo album, and this time I was thinking about Kai on the Tempo album. I made like a Dutch door collage of Suho here, and I saw this somewhere. Like, this is a sketch that I saw on Instagram somewhere of like tearing something, cutting the page away, and whoever it was deleted that post. So I sadly don't have anyone to link credit to for this, but I saw them do this collage for another K-pop idol, and I loved it. Just like the zoom in on someone's face like that. So I decided to do it with Suho. And on the back, I also collaged more of Suho from Gray Suit. Baekhyun reading to us. Loved this. This is, again, one of my favorite videos of his. He and Suho are the best vloggers, in my opinion. Like, I'm so relaxed whenever they post a video. This was from Kai's show in Korea, not the one in London, back in June, and it was really good from what I hear. I know it was amazing, really jealous, but I'm also really jealous of the people who got to see Suho in this outfit. Suho in this outfit, this is everything to me. He is in his like 60s, 70s era, and it's giving me everything. It's doing everything for me. This is possibly my favorite spread in the entire EXO journal because I really like pink, and it just worked perfectly that he was wearing this cardigan. So that is the end of June. I will show you, I have moved into July. I've been listening to Obsession like nonstop. And this is for Lay's latest comeback, basically, where he is Captain Sang. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the year. I'm going to continue to glue together these monthly pages just to give some extra support to the journal. I'm almost a year into being an XOL, and I really can't believe that time has flown by that quickly. We're nearing the end. This is my TXT Deco Kit journal. So I have just been using the Deco Kit, and I am really loving it. I just am really, really enjoying using the Deco Kit, and I think it's a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite pages. This has really made me step outside of my comfort zone in terms of journaling just because of the colors they use. I am very much like a pink blue kind of girl, and this is very primary colors. So I did make a window here, which I'm kind of proud of. I basically cut them out of this and then saved the page and made a little window. And then I decoed one of the cards of Subin. This is my little Taehyun spread, and it is also one of my favorites because I love the film strips that they gave, and I like the pink and the blue and the black. And last but not least, this is the page that I am currently working on. So I just finished this one at the beginning of July, and I'm gonna work on this next spread very, very soon to kind of tie them together. And so far, that is my TXT Deco journal. I have a lot left in the book, but they gave so much, I feel like there's going to be quite a bit left over that I can use in my other K-pop journal. Last but certainly not least, this is my current K-pop journal. I decided to indulge and get a Leuchtturm. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but this is like the very famous kind of German brand that most people use for their bullet journals. And this is, I think, a little bit smaller than my original K-pop journal, which is fine, but I really like it. The quality of the paper is amazing. I can see why this is the most popular one. So I just started this month, and I am really loving it. I started this with a page on scoops because I have been listening to 17 nonstop. They are the playlist of the summer for me. This is one of my pages about Subin, and it is possibly my favorite page I have done on Subin, who is my TXT bias. I just love the color here. This is just, in general, going to be a catch-all journal, I have decided. So I also am going to be chronicling K-dramas that I've been watching, and I am currently watching Vincenzo. So I made a little Dutch door, and I love this spread. This really turned out well, and I think the reason it turned out well is that I did it in this journal, and the paper quality really made this work so cohesively, in my opinion. Then I just did a spread on Pass the Mic by Hypen. Really excited for them and loving this new album. And so that is that for right now. The pages can be kind of thin depending on what type of pen you use, but I, for the most part, just think they are really nice. And I can see why this is the most popular for a bullet journal. But I am excited to see this one fill up. I think I'm basically just going to use this as my everything journal for the rest of the year. It's getting kind of tedious putting different things in different journals, like having a book journal, having a TV journal, having a K-pop journal. This might just wind up being a catch-all for me. But those are all of my K-pop journals currently. I am excited to see how they grow, and I'm looking forward to doing this video at the end of the year. I would love to know down below if you also K-pop journal, but that's going to be all for me today. I will see you again in my next video.